Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Monday Night Raw, or Alone Day Night, Alone Day Night Raw. And today I am Gorilla Monsoon, here with Edward Collins and with Corey Graves. And today on Monday Night Raw, or Alone Day Night Raw, we're going to see another start of this wrestler by the name of Killian Cross. So, before we get started to see Killian Cross, what do we know about Killian Cross? Gorilla Monsoon says. Well, what I know about him is not much, Edward Collins said. I wrestled him or fought him yesterday on main event or main show. So, my dealings with him was in the ring. But I will tell you something. He is not anyone, to be frightening with. I mean, at the end of the day, he's not anyone to be fucking with, or frightening, or whatever it is that whatever these folks, whatever these young folks do these days. Edward Collins says. Well, I'm going to tell you one thing, Corey Graves says. Killian Cross, he's a former two-time WWE NXT heavyweight winner. He was unbeaten for a long time while he was on NXT. Sadly, once he went from NXT to Raw, he took his first loss at the hands of Jeff Hardy. Then he lost to Keith Lee. Only he made up for that loss by beating Jeff Hardy and Keith Lee in the return fights. But at the end of the day, he then sadly lost to Samoa Joe. He's no longer the WWE NXT heavyweight fighter. Corey Graves says, and that's all I know. So, this is the TWF. This is supposed to be the greatest wrestling business ever. The greatest toy wrestling business ever. The oldest one. But all I got yesterday on main event or main show was some dumb bloodsucker with a soul by the name of Edward Collins, which I beat. And you're dealing with a former two-time WWE NXT heavyweight winner or fighter. And I am once again, I'm going to get, and I will get that back one day. Sooner or later, that's going to happen. But I'm sure one day I will be the WWE heavyweight fighter or the world heavyweight fighter. Well, in the TWF heavyweight fighter and the Royal fighter, so Wonder Woman and Roman Reigns, you need to watch out. And who am I going to beat up this week? Yeah, Killian. Who's going to get their booty beat by you? Scarlett says. I mean, who's going to do it? I would like to know who's going to end up beating you here today on Monday Night Raw or Alone Day Night Raw. I'd like to know. Well, no, Scarlett is now gone again. Hey, and that's Ethan Lightfoot. Ethan Lightfoot is the one that's fighting Killian Cross here today on Raw, Gorilla Monsoon said. Killian Cross, a boss suplex, a former two-time WWE NXT heavyweight fighter who at the end of the day believes he's unbeatable and unstoppable. Well, Corey Graves says, when you have been unbeatable and unstoppable for some time, you tend to believe you're unbeatable and unstoppable, and then it becomes true. It's not only a belief in thought. But I'll tell you one thing, Edward Collins said. Ethan Lightfoot's not doing very well in the ring right now with Killian Cross. Killian Cross right in the hang-up right now. Ethan Lightfoot, body slam on Killian Cross. Another body slam on him, Gorilla Monsoon says. Yeah, Ethan Lightfoot, he's going to be lucky if he can still light his feet will still light up after all of this, Corey Graves says. If he fucked up the spell to bring his father back, you all know he's not going to beat Killian Cross. Would you be earnest? Would you stop, Corey Graves, bringing up what happened with Ethan Lightfoot's father? Gorilla Monsoon says. Yeah, Edward Collins said. Ethan Lightfoot, he's going to beat Killian Cross. I have a lot of belief in him, Edward Collins says. Oh, you do, huh? He's coming up again and... Oh! Killian Cross just ended it here. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Killian Cross. And now Killian Cross is now back in the ring now after he beat Ethan Lightfoot here on his first showing here on Monday Night Raw or Alone Day Night Raw. So, I just beat Ethan Lightfoot, a man who fucked up a spell to bring his father back, didn't have to go through this whole bullshit saga until to get him back. Is that all the TWF can give me to fight? I want a true fight. I want someone to truly come out here and give me a fight. Or do I gotta pick my own fight? I know the TWF heavyweight fighter is Wonder Woman, and I know the world heavyweight fighter is Roman Reigns. Any one of those two, I'll take them both on. I'll beat both of them. Scarlett, even if that's your true name or not, and Killian Cross, if that's your true name or not, which I have a belief it's probably your ring name, and your true name is something else altogether. So, you seem to think that you only been in a TWF for about only 3 days so far. You only had your first fight 24 spans ago on main event, on main show, by beating Edward Collins. You then had your next fight or next match with Ethan Lightfoot here on Monday Night Raw or Alone Day Night Raw. And now you think that you should be wrestling and fighting either Wonder Woman, either to be fighting and wrestling either Wonder Woman or Roman Reigns. Man, you truly believe that I should just give you the TWF heavyweight winnings and the world heavyweight winnings, right? That must be the same belief you have in the WWE, right? Yeah, you were a former 2-time WWE NXT heavyweight fighter. You went from NXT to Raw, and I guess you probably think you should just be given the WWE heavyweight winnings, the world heavyweight winnings if you went from Raw to SmackDown. But you have to work hard to get that. Winnings are not just given to you. That's the same thing Adam Pearce would say, the same thing William Regal would say, the same thing Johnny Saint would say, the same thing that Scott D'Amore would say, and the same thing that Dean Hill would say. Well, the one thing you should know, Astronema, is I don't mind beating up folks, bosses or not. I would beat up Adam Pearce, William Regal, Johnny Saint, Scott D'Amore, and Dean Hill. And I don't really think I mind beating you up. But you tell Wonder Woman that her time as a TWF heavyweight fighter is up. You tell Roman Reigns his time as the world heavyweight fighter is up. And soon, I will be either the TWF heavyweight fighter or the world heavyweight fighter. You tell them that, Astronema. Well, Ecliptor says, you can go tell Wonder Woman and Roman Reigns that yourself. Yeah, Algar says, you can go tell Wonder Woman, you can go tell Roman Reigns that yourself. I'm sure in WWE you could go tell Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns that yourself too. Algar says. Well, you could do what? Ecliptor says. What? You're gonna do what, huh? Are you gonna do what we asked you to do, what we told you to do, what you can do? Ecliptor says. Or are you just gonna be a creep? Algar says. Because I think being a creep didn't really get you so far, right? Is that what you're going to do? I told you what you're going to do, Astronema says. I told you what you were going to do and what you're not going to do. You're either going to work hard to become the TWF heavyweight fighter or the world heavyweight fighter. I'm not going to give it to you. Now, unless you're going to wrestle me and fight me and beat me up, just keep in mind, I won't deal with your shit. Think long and hard, Ecliptor says. Yeah, think long and hard before you do any shit, Algar says. Yeah, you better think long and hard before you do anything to me. Well, we just saw Killian Cross have a talk with Astronema and also with Ecliptor and Algar with her. Not really much, but Killian Cross wants to be the TWF heavyweight fighter. He wants to be the world heavyweight fighter too. So I'm sure that Wonder Woman and Roman Reigns have heard all about that, Gorilla Monsoon says. Yeah, I'm sure Killian Cross also wants to be the WWE heavyweight fighter and the world heavyweight fighter. So I'm sure in WWE, Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns would love to hear that too. Evercon says. Corey Graves says, I can tell you one thing. Killian Cross is a man. He knows his goals. He knows what he wants. And he isn't frightened to do what he's got to do that. You saw all the things he did to become the two-time WWE NXT heavyweight fighter, did you not? Corey Graves says. He's not the man to F with. You know, he's not to be fucked with. You can't fuck with him when he's on NXT, and you can't fuck with him when he's on Raw. Well, Michael Cole now is going to be talking, hopefully, is going to be talking with Killian Cross. Alright, Killian Cross. You only been in the WWE, you only been in the TWF for not even a full week, only, and you already want to become the TWF heavyweight fighter or the world heavyweight fighter. Yeah, Michael Cole, I got goals, I came to the TWF to be a winner, to be a fighter, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to let Wonder Woman know, and I'm going to let Roman Reigns know their time is up. And I'm going to say the same thing to Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns in the WWE. Their time is up too. There's a grounds to why I've been unbeaten for a long time. And yes, you're going to say I lost to Jeff Hardy. And yes, you're going to say I lost to Keith Lee. And yes, you're going to say I lost to Samoa Joe. But I only lost 3 times. And I made up for those 3 losses by winning those fights. Yeah, you only lost 3 times, Killian Cross. That is true. And you are a former 2-time WWE NXT heavyweight fighter. But what are you going to do if things don't go your way? What do you mean things don't go my way? Things always go my way. They did when I was on NXT. They did when I go on Raw. And it is what it is. Things will go my way. Scarlett O'Dove? Yeah, things have always gone Killian Cross's way. You know, he's a very tough man. He believes in himself, and that's frightening. And he believes he's unbeatable and unstoppable. Now, Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns can talk about that all they want. Paulie Dangerously and Montel Vercadius Porter can say that about them all they want, but he truly believes it. And as far, that's bad news for them in WWE. But here in TWF, that's bad news too. Because if he believes in himself, who do you think's going to stop him? If he wants to become the TWF heavyweight fighter or the world heavyweight fighter, Michael Cole, who do you think's going to stop him? No one. No one will stop him. Not Xena, not Cameron, not Hunter S. Helmsley, not Godzilla, not Astronema. No one will stop him. If he wants it, he'll take it. Yeah. They also leave out other folks like, not Michael, not Tommy Dreamer, not Jimmy Hart, not Gil Kim, not Ashley Williams. And if he wants it, he's going to take it. No one's going to stop him. Well, that was my talk with Killian Cross. Back to you, Gorilla Monsoon. Well, thank you, Michael Cole, for talking with Killian Cross here on Monday Night Raw, or Alone Day Night Raw. But it looks like it is all the time we got here for Monday Night Raw or Alone Day Night Raw. I am Gorilla Monsoon. For Edward Collins and Corey Graves, we hope you like Monday Night Raw or Alone Day Night Raw, and we'll see you tomorrow for NXT.